there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Hey guys, welcome back once again to Niagara Fire Corals. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Night Crew Hyperlink 100 lights. And I also picked up Hyper Reef controller. We are going to do an unboxing on both of these products here. We're going to get them set up. And we're going to check them out together today. I picked up a couple of these lights for the 80-gallon frag tank in the back. So let's get into this video. It's going to be a good one.
Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Alright guys, so we're going to get into unboxing these so I can show you guys what comes in the box. I'll start out by saying the Hyper Reef 100, like this box has got some weight to it, which is good. So we'll open up the box and I'll show you guys what's inside. Of course, you've got your little owner's manual or startup guide. It's going to let you know everything you need to know about getting this light up and going. And then, of course, you got your light itself. You can see it, the Hyper Reef 100. It's a double puck light. It's got some plastic on the back. You take that off. Built-in fan. These things do run pretty cool. I have opened up the other one. I will, full disclosure, I've already checked it out. The light seems to run very cool. I mean, you can touch these, they don't get very hot. Seems to be very good build quality. There's some good weight to them. I'm very pleased so far. And one thing you guys will know from my other unboxing videos, I'm a really big fan of having a lot of cable to the product, whatever it is, because there's nothing worse than trying to figure out how to get it to a plug. So I took it upon myself to measure how much length you have. So this is your power brick cord. Here's your main power cord to go in this side, and then of course attaches to the light. From the light to the plug, when you have this all set up, you have 19 feet of cable. So there's absolutely going to be no shortage on length for you to get to where you're going. So that, to me, that's a huge plus. I was really excited to see that. But this is the light. We'll put that aside. I already showed you. Here's your power brick and power cable. And then another big thing that Night Crew does is they also set you up with your mount for your tank, which, as we know, a lot of the bigger companies, they don't do that, and then you're going to be paying another $100 for a light mount. And these are pretty heavy duty. They're they're pretty heavy duty. Probably because the light itself has got some weight to it, but however, you do get your light mount comes in the box with your light, which is a huge plus. And then of course you got a little bit of mounting hardware. So that's what you get in the box when you purchase one of these. So I'm just going to put all this aside, and then I will show you very quickly the Hyper Reef controller real quick. So we'll just put this aside, and then here is the Night Crew Hyper Reef controller. Based on the directions that come with the lights, you're gonna want to get this. The controllability of the lights is very minimal without having this controller, so spend the extra $50, guys. Get the controller. It's well worth it. Again, full disclosure, I've already opened this up because I was playing with my second light. I didn't want to go into this blind. I wanted to be able to give you guys kind of a full idea of this. But this is your little setup guide. It tells you everything how to walk through using this. I will be honest, guys, I didn't even read this. This thing is very self-explanatory. I saw a lot of videos where people said it was kind of confusing. I don't know if they've changed things or what, but I didn't find it confusing at all. It was very straightforward and very simple to do. So inside the box here, this is the controller itself. It's a cute little controller, a little smaller than your average cell phone. You get that. This is a magnetic mount. You know, you can put it on the wall to mount your, it's magnetic. That'll mount your controller wherever you want it, or you can just put, I'll probably just put some Velcro on the back, put it where I want it. And then back here, you're gonna get, of course, a little bit of mounting hardware for the bracket if you choose to go that route. But you get 2 cords. You have your one auxiliary port here. You're going to take this cord, it's going to go from here to the in port on your light itself, and then they give you a second one because if you're in like the case I'm in, or you're running 2 of them, you can daisy chain them together. So this one would go from the out port to the in port on my second light, and then any controls I do with this, it'll do to both lights at the same time. So that's your controller. It's very straightforward. A little later on in this video, I will show you guys how this works, and I'll take you guys through kind of some of the setup and how to use this controller. But again, very simple to use, no problem. I'm gonna put up a little diagram you see here, and this is actually of the Hyper Reef 100. Now, Night Crew makes 4 models. You can get a 30, which is not compatible with the controller. Please take note of that. If you get the Night Crew 30, you cannot use the controller. The Night Crew 50, 100, and 150 are all compatible with the controller, so you're good to go there. The Night Crew 30 and 50 are single puck units. The Night Crew 100, as you see that we're going to be using today, is a double puck, and the 150s have 3 pucks. So looking at this diagram, it gives you the breakdown of what we have for LEDs on the 100, which is the one I'm using right now. And I think it's a pretty good split of LEDs. The color rendering that you can get with it is very good. Like I said, I already played around a little bit with the second one that I have, just to kind of get a feel for the light, but it's very good. So in this particular light, across the 2 pucks, you have 14 royal blues, 12 blue, 4 violet, 2 UV, 10 cool white, 2 warm white, 2 green, 2 red. These lights are pretty powerful, guys. I gotta say, I was pretty impressed when I fired it up and got a good look at it. So we're gonna get these mounted up, and we're gonna get into the setup of them, and we'll see how they do on the 80-gallon frag tank in the sump room. All right, guys, I didn't want to bore you guys with, you know, the actual installation of the lights, but here we are. We are looking at the 80-gallon frag tank. You can see it's full of all acros mainly, and we have our new lights up. I'll just bring you guys around. Probably be able to see them better from over here. You can see I got the 2 new lights in there, the Night Crew 100s, and we have the Orphic bars front and back on them over top of this tank. And I gotta say, the par readings I'm getting off of it they're pretty good. You can see that light is up there, you know, good 18 to 20 inches above the tank, so I can bring that light down and boost the par even more. But as it stands right now, by midday I'm getting approximately 250 to 300 par even across the entire tank, front to back, end to end, and I'm quite happy with that. So if I wanted to bump it up though, I could drop that light fixture down, you know, 4 or 5 inches, and I could get that par substantially higher. But I find that that's all I need to run my par at, and I don't have any issues with color or growth, so we're gonna keep it there. So there it is, guys. Lights installed. It's pretty slick. All I did was a piece of plywood, and then I did holes through it and dropped the lights through the holes, and that's all it is. Alright guys, so I'm going to bring you in and show you the controller real quick. Hopefully I can get this in so it shows pretty good. So this is just kind of your basic home screen on the controller. This center button is going to kind of take you into menus. We'll push that, and you can see there, hopefully, you have, there are a couple of presets, or you can, if you use these plus signs, you can actually make your own presets. But what I did is I used the preset number 2, and then, sorry guys, that's my tank telling me my skimmer's full. I used preset number 2, as you can see there, and even though it's a preset, you can, so you hit enter again, it brings you down into there, and then you can scroll over to whichever preset you want. You can see I've got number 2 selected, hit enter, and I don't know if you guys can see that. I apologize guys, it's difficult to get this to come into focus. But these points that are on the presets, I never could find information on this controller whether or not they're kind of set in place and that is what it is. They are not. So I took this preset, it was already basically like an AB Plus program, and all I did was when I went in to each of the points, I was able to change the time and the intensities to whatever I wanted. So if I wanted to do that, you can see there. So I went into the first point. Hopefully you can see this. That's 8 a.m. and I have them both at 0. So if I wanted to change the time, you know, when you hit enter, it's letting you go through the time. Then you can adjust your whites, your blues. Okay, so once you set your first time, you just hit the arrow to the side. Sorry, you have to escape. You hit your arrow to the side. It'll take you to your next preset setting. You can go in there. So this would be at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm at 0 whites, 50% blues. So once you set whatever setting you want there, you would go out. You go back to, you can see your program again. You hit the side button again. There it is. So it's now taking me to my next preset, which is my high point of the day. You know, you can go in there, you set what time that you want for that, and then you can see my whites now are at 70 and my blues are at 100, and so on and so forth, guys. This controller is really simple to use. I did see online some people had issues with it. I don't know if they've changed it since the videos came on that I was watching, but I didn't have any issues using this whatsoever. You've got some other options in here. So you got manual mode. You can go into this manual mode if, say, somebody was coming over and you wanted to, you know, just crank up your blues for them to see. Or, so this is back to the programs. You can go here. That is actually shows you what program that you're running, and you can go in and you can change it. Or you can go to the last one, which is settings, and in settings you can go in You can set your time, your date, 24 hours or 12-hour time, or daylight savings time. And then there's also some options for your display, like how long until it times out, things like that. So really simple to use, guys. Again, I had zero issues with it. You won't have any trouble, but I do strongly suggest that you guys get it, because without that controller, you cannot really set ramps on these lights. They just kind of will turn on at whatever spectrum you set them at for whatever time frame you set them for, and then they'll turn off. If you want them to ramp up and ramp down, such as what I just showed you, you need to have that controller. So it's only 50 bucks, not a big investment when you're saving so much on the lights to begin with. So you're going to want to get that controller, guys. Another thing about the controller that I did look for and I could not find an answer to, and I now have the answer now that I own the lights and I own the controller, and that is, if you're in a situation like me where I've put two lights here, I've already told you that, the controller plugs into the one, it comes with a toggle cord, so I was able to toggle it over to the second light, and we're good to go. Both lights are following the same program. Now, I'm going to probably be putting two more of these lights over the new low buoy frag tank as well, and when I do that, I will have to buy a controller again. You have to leave the controller connected to the lights. I kind of thought that once you set the program, you could disconnect the controller and the lights themselves would hold the program, but they do not. The program is actually held in the controller. So if you're going to use these lights and you're going to need them in multiple locations, you will need a controller for each location. But that's not kind of everybody's problem. That's more people like myself who have multiple tanks in multiple locations. However, if you're just got a display tank, you want to use these lights, one controller is all you'll need. I believe you can toggle up to 4 lights off of one controller. As far as color spectrum and everything is concerned, guys, I'm really happy with the way the lights look. I think the tank and the corals look really good, and I'm pretty pleased with them as of right now. But we'll see. I did do a lot of research on these, and a couple of good friends of mine have seen a absolutely fantastic aquapora tank that is grown solely under these lights, and they told me that tank was absolutely beautiful. So that's reassuring, but we shall see what happens with these lights going forward. I will do an update in a few months from now, or say maybe 6 months, and we'll see how they perform. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and until the next time, make sure you take care and happy reefing.